Hey, happy Thursday to you, everybody. I'm so glad that you've joined me for yet another edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. And we've been coasting through the week looking at various scriptures today to kind of help you kind of get your day going. And I want to say this again. If you think any of these 5 Minutes with Phil episodes could help somebody, please share them. Share them on a friend's Facebook or on your Facebook. However you can share them. We just want to be a blessing to people. It's not about me. It's not about this church. We just want to help people. And do that. Now, today, I want to take a look at a pretty powerful scripture here. And it's from the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. And the author, James, makes a pretty powerful statement here, and I've heard people sometimes in their attempt to sound very religious to say, "Well, you just need to resist the devil." And I grew up with people telling me, "Resist that devil," and I'm thinking, "Okay, well, how do I do that?" And nobody ever told me. Nobody ever explained it to me. So I would say, "Okay, devil, I resist you." Whatever that means. And so then, as I began to grow a little bit more mature in my walk with God, I thought, let's see what that Bible verse actually has to say. And that's what I want to share with you here today. How can we defeat the enemy? Let me show you what he fears. Did you know that the enemy fears certain things? Take a look at James 4:7. It says this: "Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Okay, now that makes sense. How do I resist the temptations of the enemy? How do I resist the temptation to give in to sin? How do I resist that? How do I keep myself from giving into that? That's found in the first part of this verse. Submit yourself to God. Submission. Now that's a word that we often don't like to use much because we don't want anyone to tell us what to do. If we're being honest with ourselves, we just don't want people to tell us what to do. And so we read stuff like that and it says, resist the devil. Resist the devil. And we think, well, how do I do that? Submit yourself to God. Well, that doesn't sound much better. And actually, it is the best place that you could possibly be in your spiritual life. Is total submission to the Word and to the will of God. Because here's what I found out. Doing things God's way is way better than doing things my way. Doing things God's way is way better than doing things my way. And when I am submissive to Him and to His commands, and here's the deal, okay? The reason why we don't like that word submission is because we're fine with complying with somebody until we disagree with that person. But you got to understand, the act of submitting to somebody, that doesn't really start until you disagree with it, until it goes against your nature. And so if you read the scripture and it tells you to do, let's say it tells you to forgive somebody, and you don't want to forgive that person, okay? Then what's your choice there? You can either do things your way, but then that exposes you to what the enemy wants to do in your life. Or you could submit and say, God, this goes against my nature, but I'm going to do what you say. I'm going to obey you. That is when the enemy flees. So today, I want to ask you, is there a command from Scripture that's harder for you to obey than some others? I would invite you to not give the enemy of your soul a chance to sneak in and mess with your life. Totally submit to God. Obey God no matter what. And that's when the enemy will flee from you. All right, God bless you. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing. Take care. Bye-bye.